video, I'm going to cover how I put together this little cinematic in Unreal Engine 5.6 using a MetaHuman and some brand new free animation from narrativemotion.com. So let's get started by downloading the free MOCAP and talking about that project. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Narrative Motion. This is my new project that I've started here, and it's basically a MOCAP library specifically for cinematics versus gameplay animation, which is what most of the MOCAP on Fab and, that's mostly what's available online in general. So to start here, we have some free MOCAP. Both Stand and Talk and Portal Exit, which we'll be using today, are free to download for you to test out the platform. It's a big work in progress, and to test out the quality of the animation, both for the UE5 Mannequin, and we're going to go over retargeting to MetaHumans in this video. It's both for the UE5 Mannequin and MetaHumans, and also for Fortnite. So if you're using UEFN, the animation will come in retargeted already for the FN Mannequin, and you'll be able to use it with the character device and use any Fortnite character you want really easily. So when you download one of the MOCAP files, you're going to get a zip, and I'm going to just extract it here. It's sort of a crazy auto name from Shopify, but inside here will be an animation called Narrative Motion 3, Portal Exit, and this one is ASFN for the Fortnite version of it here. Working on the naming convention. You really shouldn't use dashes, I learned, but we'll be kind of cleaning this up over time. However, we're going to be using this animation today. So here we are in Unreal Engine 5.6.1 in a third-person template. You want to start with this template because this comes with the characters, mannequins, the SK mannequin. That is the format that the animations from Narrative Motion are coming in, and they'll work with either one of these meshes here. Great, so let's import the animation we downloaded from Narrative Motion. And again, it's in this folder, and we want the version that doesn't say FN. That's the Fortnite version. So we're going to bring this in here, and we can use default pipeline settings. You can reset everything there. And we just need to change the skeleton to SK mannequin, and we're good to go. Let this thing import. So I'm saving, and let's go check out the animation here. Hopefully everything's looking good. 60 frames per second, and it's looking pretty clean on the old SK mannequin skeleton, and this is the Quin skeleton. This would, of course, work for the male masculine mannequin version. But the animation's looking clean, really nice. Should be a good start for any cinematic if you need to do adjustments to the look direction and feet and stuff like that. That's all very easy using Sequencer. So with that animation imported, again, let's go to characters, mannequins, meshes, and start with something really simple. We're just going to drag out our mannequin skeleton. Now, for a cinematic, like we're going to be making, we want to start this whole thing off with a sequence. So I'm going to go to Content and add Sequences there. Next, let's go up here, and we're going to do Add Level Sequence into our Sequences folder, and I'm going to call this RPG Intro 1. That's sort of what I imagine this animation is going to get used for. So I'm going to select our mannequin. We're going to do add to the sequence. And right now we're going to have an animation control rig, which we don't need at the moment. We're just going to delete that. Go back to the front, and under animation, we're going to hit plus. And if we write NM, all of the narrative motion animations that you have will come up. And we're going to use this one. And everything's looking great. This is Control Scroll to do this. And then it's right click, drag to move back and forth. I then hold Shift and left click and drag up here to snap it to the end. And I hit the right bracket key. I do this an awful lot. I should make a script for it. If you hit home, it's going to kind of frame to view. So we can kind of let the animation play out. And we'll see that it's a nice, lovely optical motion capture animation here. Very clean. There's a little jitter when I brush off my shoulder because I'm covering a marker. Could clean that up in Control Rig, but right now we're just going to go with it. I think that this is more than enough to get started. So the idea with this scene, beat by beat, is that someone gets put through a portal. Think of like an isekai intro, like they got teleported into like a new place, and they're like, oh man, where are we? They turn around and they're like, what in the world is that? So that is the scene that I'm going to create today, and that I sort of challenge any Unreal Engine filmmaker to go download this animation and make your own version of it. I would love to see how different people approach this, and it would be really good to see the animations working. So that is the process with the mannequin. From here, again, if you're very new to Unreal Engine, you're going to want to go to Place Actors, and we're going to grab a cinematic camera actor, and we'll just do a one camera shot for now. And I'm going to drag this camera into sequencer here. And let's see, are we piloting it? We are. Okay, so let's kind of look at where this scene starts. He pops out, turns around, and does this. So for me, what I'm thinking for this scene, I'm going to go here and turn on transform. Oops, let's put a keyframe soon, maybe here, something like this. So I'm going to keyframe transform there. And on this camera, to be boring and simple to start, I'm going to go to focus and just turn focus off. I'm not going to keyframe focus, just to keep things simple right now. So here's our beginning shot. He jumps out, right? And in the edit, you might start the edit from like here, or you could take the animation and kind of crop it and have him appear. But for now, we'll just do it in editing. So we have him fall out. And let's do a small push in once he sort of looks that way is what's going to happen. He's like starting to get a glimpse of something. And then by here, as he turns around completely and lands, we'll end in like a close-up. So I'm just going to kind of zoom in here. If you hold right click and scroll, you'll be changing the speed of the camera, which is really nice for when you're trying to get these kind of like finessed shots here. So no depth of field, nothing really too fancy. And what I'm going to do is turn on auto keyframe and then drop a keyframe here. So we can kind of get a preview of this. As he turns around, the camera pushes in. I don't love how not linear it is, but you know, we could work on that. I'm going to kind of scoot over this way. There's much better ways of animating this. I just want to make something quick for us here. And we'll watch this back. Jumps out of the portal, brushes off, and as he starts to spot something, we push the camera in like that, ending here. And then what I'll do now, I'm going to make another camera, and I'll clean up the outliner just a little bit. And so we have cam A, save all this, and I'm going to duplicate this camera and call it camera B. I myself am not an expert at sequencer. I'm looking to get better at it. That's sort of part of what this project is about for me. We're now controlling camera B, which I'm going to go around this way. And so let's see. What we want to do is cut to this shot. So let's see if I can do this properly. We're going to close this here. And we're going to make a new camera for B. So we have shot B. That's not how that works, apparently. Oh, there we go. So it goes from A to B, like this. So let's do it from here. That's pretty good, right? So we basically are revealing something, and I'll put something back there. But let's give B just a little bit of animation. Where is camera B? Down here. Let's go again to our transform from B. We will start here. And I think we're going to do like a rising shot. Or actually, let's do it the other way around. Let's start kind of high up. So I'm going to go to B here. We're going to start up here with him in the frame. And then as he does that, kind of like landing motion, I'm going to come down a little bit and push in, something like this. Turns into like a third-person view, almost. Sort of makes sense. It's like a video game intro, right? And then pushes down into like a third-person view. We could make it land like in kind of, if this was a game cinematic, we could blend back into the actual third-person gameplay camera. But for now, we're not going to do anything like that. Okay, so that's pretty good. Basic intro setup here. I am going to hop out of this camera and just put something back here for the reveal. And I think I'm just going to make it a gigantic Quin. I think that's what he will have discovered. So is this a boss? I'm not sure. And if I downloaded some more motions from narrativemotion.com, again, I would have something to put over here. So, or I'd have an animation to put on Quin in the background. Let's go ahead and make Quin humongous. And that's kind of funny. So let's see here. Okay, she's too big. She's way too big. So I think I like the idea of her being like absolutely gigantic. This just might be like a little bit too much. But let's hop back in here and adjust things. We could start like this. Oh man, this is way wider than I was planning on for this. But hopefully we didn't make a different keyframe. And yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot for what we're going for here. Yeah, this is a little bit too big for the frame here, so we're gonna shrink her down a little bit. Let's go ahead and make this like 10 instead. There we go. That's still sort of ominously large, but not this crazy. So let's adjust this, and again we'll start like kind of like up here, so we can see her, and then the camera kind of booms down and kind of puts again in perspective just how absolutely like massive this Quin actor is in the background. So there is our cinematic. Let's hit play. Oh, whoops. We gotta go into this camera. If we hit play, everything goes away. We could make a little portal animation, but we just kind of want to go through like the general blocking process here. And great. So man lands, kind of brushes himself off. We certainly could have another shot for that. And as he turns around, we can't really animate the face because it's the mannequin. We reveal that he's looking at this ridiculously large Quin skeleton in the background. So great. So that is our demo of using the animation to make a cinematic with the mannequin. But if you're like me, I much prefer to use the MetaHumans. So let's go ahead and duplicate this level. How does one do that? What the heck? How do you duplicate this? Can I do copy paste? There we go. Okay, sure. And we're gonna say RPG intro MetaHuman, something like that. Let it duplicate over, and let's open up our duplicate level. Hopefully this is that level. Where do you see that in UE5? There it is. Okay, cool. Perfect. So we'll leave the mannequin. That's certainly freaky enough. And I'm going to delete the old sequence, and I'm going to delete the mannequin. And I'll leave the cameras because they're sort of fine for now. So what I've done is I've gone in MetaHuman Creator, and I've made a MetaHuman. I'm using the free techwear outfit off of fab.com. I can link to that in the description if you've never used it before. And I have generated a MetaHuman here. We'll open him up and take a peek, and we're going to be getting the animations onto our MetaHuman, which is a little bit more interesting because then you can animate the face in multiple ways. One thing I want to mention is that let's go ahead and lock forced LOD to 0, and that's going to make them look their best for cinematics. So we have our MetaHuman set up. So what we want to do now is retarget the animation that we imported. So here we are in animations, and we want to retarget this to the MetaHuman. So I'm going to right click this and do retarget animations. And we're going from the mannequin, and I'm going to write body mesh. We're going to be using the MetaHuman body mesh that we created. Now it's very likely it's just hands, which is not great, but this will be working fine. So what we want to do now, you could get away with the auto retargeter. It will do a good enough job. And you know what? For now, let's just do that. Let's keep things really simple. Let's just use the auto retarget. We're going to click this one. I'm going to click export animations, and let's put it in this folder. And I'm going to do AS underscore MetaHuman underscore for our prefix. All the defaults are completely fine. And we're going to get our MetaHuman animation now. So it's just hands. So it's not great, but this is going to do a really good job of retargeting automatically to the different size MetaHumans as well, which is really great. And there's a little bit more, or there's a lot more to go into with retargeting, but luckily enough in Unreal Engine 5.6.1, I'll just show the whole skeleton. The auto retarget's really, really good. And it's only when we need to make like really specific tweaks do we have to really get in there and tweak it up and change some settings, and I'll go over that in the future. But there it is. There's the CM animation ready for our MetaHuman with just hands. Kind of rough. So we are all set to start this process again. Let's go ahead into MetaHumans and grab our Tech Pro. We don't really care about his placement just yet, and let's make a brand new sequence. Here we are in sequences. I'm going to say RPG intro MetaHuman 01. Let's do the exact same thing, except now we have a MetaHuman, and I'm going to animate the face really poorly. Really quickly, hand animate it. You certainly can use your phone or webcam and MetaHuman Animator, but we'll go over that workflow in the future because people do that wrong all the time. I see it done wrong all the time, and we'll cover how to do it the right way. So let's go ahead and delete the body controller, but leave the face one. We're going to animate the face. It's going to be awesome. So here again, we're going to click this, and there's not many animations for us. We have literally only that one. Excellent. And now there it is. We have our MetaHuman doing the same animation. Love it. Love to see it. And for me, I'm a cinematographer, and I'm really interested in cinematic design and narrative design for video games, the storytelling part of it. And the whole motivation for making narrative motion was to make it so that we have animations like this that just play out perfectly, that look realistic, like you could see them in like a real AAA game. And then we don't have to worry about the mocap. We can worry about the filmmaking side of it here in Unreal Engine. And I think this animation for me, I don't know, it gets me excited to kind of put this in an environment and tell a story with it. Just looks really cool. I'm psyched just doing it now here. So let's go ahead and just reblock everything. So with the body, or with this whole thing's transform, to be honest, it's not the body, it's the transform here. I'm going to keyframe it down. Oh, or not. There it is. And we are going to spin him around so this makes sense. So he needs to be facing this way, right? So he can't see her yet. So he does that, turns around, and we'll just leave this for now. We won't adjust anything for his body performance just yet. So let's go ahead and take our wide camera that's kind of roughly in place, or is it? What is going on here? So we'll take this cam A, we'll drop it in. So we're doing cam A. And for this one, maybe we'll do focus, maybe not. A seems to be looking the wrong way. I guess that's fine. I think it's just like kind of the default position. So we'll key transform, and let's go find our first frame here. I'm going to do this one a little bit different. We'll do a little bit of playing the lines, so to speak. And let's see how this angle looks. So he pops out. I know there's a camera in the way. I can hit G and kind of hide it. That works. And as he looks around, he's going to look that way. So then we end up in this over-the-shoulder situation. And that's what we're lining up for. So what we want to end up with roughly is this. We want to set him on the left third and something like this. So the question is, when do we transition to that frame? So he kind of comes out. I feel like the camera could just be like following him. And we sort of have this unmotivated move like that. So I don't love this camera move at the moment, but let's just go with it. I'm going to actually delete these frames there and leave the position the same and just do this with panning and tilting. So just holding right click. So what we'll do is start like this. And so maybe there's like a portal up there. I'm not so sure. And right now it's this pan down, right? Pan to the right and tilt down. So we'll have him kind of land, and you could certainly do like a bit of a handheld animation, like an overshoot kind of thing. It starts up here. It's kind of, so it's like portal exists, and then bam, there he is. And as he kind of recovers, so does the camera frame, and we'll put him a little bit centered, but just a little bit, centered like this, something like that. So again, the portal appears, boom, there's our MetaHuman. He's like, what is going on? And we're just slowly panning to the right here to land in this third here. It's not my finest work, but we'll go with it. I wish this would snap to this. Is that possible? I'm sure this is possible to snap there, but whatever. That's as close as we've got. So that's camera A. That's shot A. Bit of a pan and tilt shot, not even moving. Camera B, let's grab this, throw it in there, and now we're doing camera B stuff. Again, this won't snap to this. I don't know why I want this to snap, but anyway. So in this case, we want to do the reverse, and we're like, what in the world is that? So I'm kind of, I kind of want to do a push through his shoulder. Should it be a full wide? maybe. That might be a big move, though. I think something like this is kind of funny to me. I think that's good. So his head's roughly in the same place as the last shot. It's not bad here. And let's go ahead and bind a new one of these. And we'll snap it in. So the edit looks something like this. He's like, what the heck is that? And it's her, which is just funny. She needs an animation really badly, doesn't she? So camera B, let's have a little bit of a camera move. I'm still not going to deal with focus. Editing focus is not hard, but I just want to keep things simple here. And are we pushing through or pulling back? Let's see here. Let's do it. So he turns around. I think we're going to pull back. So it's kind of like, yeah, we're just kind of like, he's getting ready. Mostly because I want to show his body, you know? I want that to be part of this. So we'll go from here, and I'm just going to, we're going to take control of B, and we're just going to scoot backwards. If we wanted to precisely animate this, we do it a little bit differently, but this is not too bad here. Still keeping him on the left third, her on the right third. This is rather important. And so we land in this sort of like wider shot. So we'll see how that feels. Okay, great. So this is our final animation here, and let's use Movie Render Queue to make this into a lovely H.264 that we can upload to the internet and share with everybody. Let's go ahead and pause this, and what we're going to want to do is go to Edit Plugins and make sure that Movie Render Queue is turned on. Go ahead and turn that on. So let's go ahead to Window, Cinematics, Movie Render Queue. I already have it. And we're going to do RPG Intro MetaHuman. And one thing I do want is motion blur. So let's grab both of these cameras and write motion blur here and turn them all on. And we're doing a kind of gross 30 frames per second in cinematic world. For games, you want like 90 or 60, something like that. But let's go ahead and do film. We'll do film for the filmmakers here. 24 frames per second with 24 frames per second motion blur-ish. And let's go to Movie Render Queue, and we'll just make some settings here. Now, there's entire experts on how to do this better than me. Oops, better than how I'm about to do this. But let's go ahead and multiply this by 2. Let's make it a 4K by 2. So that's our 4K output. I don't want a JPEG sequence. I am too fast for that. I want a full H.264. So if you're doing real renders and really high in VFX, obviously you're not going to do this. But for most of the stuff I do, that's completely fine. Anti-aliasing, we'll leave like this is actually completely fine. Let's not mess with that too much. And what we want to do is, isn't there a camera? Where is this? We'll do camera, which I think is going to give us our motion blur. And I'm going to do one console variable. You do not have to do this. I'm going to do SG shading quality 3. This is how I'm dealing with MetaHuman grooms right now. There's other ways of dealing with it, but I'm just going to throw that one in there, and I'm going to save, and we're going to pop up a little 4K render of this. Cool, so we have finished our Movie Render Queue. We're going to click the little bar here and go to Output Directory. Open this up, and let's watch this final amazing cinematic. There's a million things we could do better, right? But we were just kind of I just wanted to show the workflow of using the motion capture with the MetaHuman and the general workflow for making camera decisions and camera moves in Sequencer. From this point on, I would love it if everyone would download this motion capture and make a little film and tag me on socials. I would love to see what people are able to make with this, and hope you have a good time using the narrative motion capture. And I will check you on the next video.